Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and in today's video I'm shooting you a weird one. The motivation comes from speaking with a client or a prospective client, and also from my own heart. So the topic is frustrated, mad, bitter, mad at the world. Okay? So I was talking to this guy about his injury case, and he is a very physical guy. All of his pleasures in life came from his body, right? So this isn't a guy that enjoyed school. He's like, I think most people. He didn't love school. He played a bunch of sports in school. I had a long conversation with the guy. Didn't love school, married, your normal marriage, loves his wife. They got a couple of kids. They have their rocky portions and all that. And, he got hurt very seriously. And he admitted to me that he is just so frustrated about his physical condition. And, he's mad that everything in his injury case has taken so long. He's frustrated that he can't do the things with his body that he used to be able to do. And he admits he loses his temper with his wife and kids. He doesn't want to go out. He doesn't want to leave the house. He's mad at everybody, not mad at everybody all the time. He's got his moments where he feels like he's his normal self, but he gets really, really angry a lot of the time because he feels like, he's got this sense of himself and what he can do with his body, and now he can't do it anymore. And he's like, now what? Now what am I going to do? This is it. This is my new reality. And, even though he has serious injuries, it's not like he's paralyzed or, like that. But this is applicable to that too. His injuries are nothing to sneeze at. And, I can sympathize. I recently had a surgery that, I had a surgery on my hip, and I'm still recovering from it. Now, I went to the doctor, and he told me I was something like 90 in the 95th percentile of recovery for the amount of time it's been. But in my mind, I'm still 30 years old. I should be able to go run and lift weights and do work around the house and, all the rest of it. And I'll tell you, part of it is aging too. I'm not such a young man anymore. And my energy levels are just not what they used to be. I used to be able to work out 2-3 times a week. I guess I haven't really done that recently, but I used to be able to work out 2 or 3 times a week, go for a run, work in the office for 10, 12, 14 hours a day, every day, work on, project work that requires peace and quiet and no interruption for law cases on the weekends, And my brother and sister and other people in my life would tell me, what are you doing? It's the weekend. You work hard all week. You're going to burn out, but you do what you got to do. You got, when you're doing what you love and you're going towards a goal, it's work and it's toil, but it feels good to do it, right? Or working on the house. So I understand exactly where this guy is coming from. It sucks when you can't do what you wanted to do, what you're used to doing and what you feel like you need to do, right? But here are a couple of recommendations for people who are watching this, who are feeling frustrated, angry about their injury and how long their case is taking and all that stuff, right? The first one is, maybe you need to talk to somebody. Now, I know that that's taboo for a lot of people, right? It's becoming less and less taboo in our society, But believe me, you don't want to make your kids hate you. You don't want to make your friends not want to be friends with you. You don't want to estrange your husband or your wife or your mother, your father, and your siblings. If you are, self-aware enough to know the effect that your negative mood is having on them, then it might be time to talk to your family doctor or talk to a counselor. And even if you don't go that route, even if you talk to your priest, or you talk to your best friend, or you talk to somebody about these feelings you're having, this is something, when I was young, I used to think all of that stuff was BS. As I've gotten older, here's what I've learned. Talking about things helps you mentally and emotionally process what's happening to you. If you keep what you should be talking about in your head and in your heart silent, it becomes an echo chamber and you can't escape. But when you talk to people, it gets you past the hump, and you're able to get past the hump, and you're able to feel better. And you're able to process it, and you're able to close the book on those negative feelings and take some steps forward. Because I promise, no matter how you're feeling, there's a way forward for you, and there's a happy life for you. So that's honestly my advice. You got to talk to somebody, and if you talk to a professional, if you don't like them, switch professionals. There's bad counselors out there. I do all kinds of injury cases, including medical malpractice cases. Believe me, there's some bad counselors out there. There's also some very good ones out there. So that's one thing to think about. Another thing to think about is, I think the number one thing that drives people crazy is uncertainty. So if you are feeling frustration, anger, and you're just mad because about your law case, about your injury case, it may be that you're feeling uncertain, right? Now, the number one person who is in the picture to make you feel more certain about your injury case is your lawyer, okay? So you need to call your lawyer and talk to your lawyer and have them tell you what's going on. Now, I've had a lot of people call me since the shutdowns and the lockdowns and all that, and I know why it's happening. I think a lot of lawyers have lost staff, and they've had to go from, very quickly from operating as an in-person paper business to a business where a lot of their employees are remote. A lot of their employees have moved and left, and it's been very hard for lawyers to find good staff to replace them. So I get why it happens, but it's very hard to get a lawyer on the telephone at a lot of law firms today. Another thing is that law coaches and business consultants for lawyers are telling them not to use lawyers. They're telling them to just hire low-income people, in many cases from out of the country, to answer the phone and answer all the questions that people have. And if you've watched some of my other videos, you know what I think about that. That's terrible. Lawyers have to work on law cases. Lawyers have to steer the ship, and they need people with training and experience to work on the cases, not remote employees from other countries whose English isn't very good, and you can't have them talking to the clients when they have no idea what's going on with the cases. And if you call your law office and you tell them, I need to talk to the lawyer or at least a paralegal, and they can't answer your questions, it's a problem. So that's a good way for you to get certainty. And if you have a law firm that will not talk to you and will not explain anything to you, you have to start asking yourself whether you've got the right lawyer. Now, all lawyers have clients who call once a day or once a week, even when you tell the client, we're not going to hear anything for 60 days. So, they'll call the very next week and want a case status, or I've got some clients who literally want to call me every day. And that's not the speed at which injury cases move, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that you are angry or frustrated about your life situation, so you should call your lawyer's office every day. You're Your lawyer's never going to be able to talk to you every day, or not even every week. But it's a good question to ask your lawyer after you get them on the phone. When should I call back for a status? And and then if they say 60 to 90 days or 30 days, honor the request. Okay? So, the Reader's Digest is, those sorts of negative feelings are easier for some people to fall into than others. And you can't just stay there. You got to get out of there. And if you need help, get help. You don't have to tell anybody you're doing it. But you got to get past those feelings no matter what happens with your injuries and no matter what happens with your injury case. You might need to talk to somebody, whether it's a professional or whether it's a person in your life who can keep secrets and you can confide in and who gives good advice. And then if you're having uncertainty about your injury case, call your lawyer. It's your lawyer's job to let you know what's going on. Okay? So, kind of a weird topic. It's just I talked to this guy and it resonated with me because I'm frustrated. I don't want to be limping around and all that stuff. But I just thought it might be a topic. It's a little bit of a weird one. I don't know if it resonates with people or not, but it was just a topic that popped up. So, as always, if you need a consultation, have a question, have an injury case that you need a lawyer for, or if you know anybody who might need a lawyer, I offer a free consultation anytime, night or day. You can call 312-500-4500, 312-500-4500. That phone always gets picked up, night or day, any day of the year. It's completely free, no pressure. If you got a case, we can talk about handling it for you. If you don't have a case and you just have a question, I'll answer your question. But, if you make it clear that you've got a lawyer already, or the case is settled and you just want me to tell you the exact dollar amount to demand, your call is going to be on the bottom of the list. I do have to focus on people who actually need help in law cases. So don't be mad at me if I don't get back to you right away. And you might need to call me more than once. I'll probably still talk to you, but there's limited things I can even say to you if you're already represented, right? I can't really interfere with the relationship or give you any legal advice. And if you're just calling to chit chat, I like talking to people and I like helping people, but it's really hard for me to make time to just call and talk. So anyway, a law case or a law question, 312-500-4500. If you're not ready to talk to a lawyer, I've got two awesome tools on my website. One is called the Case Cash Calculator, tells you what your case might be worth. The other one is called the Good Case Calculator, tells you whether you might have a good case or a bad case. Both of these different calculators work the same way. They just ask you 7 multiple choice questions off the top of your head, and they give you custom information on your situation in about 10 or 20 seconds flat. No lawyer to talk to, completely free, links in the description. Use them as many times as you want. I'm getting a ton of people contacting me and thanking me for those quizzes, so check them out if you're not ready to talk to a lawyer. And or even if you are ready to talk to a lawyer and you want to check them out or share them with friends. If you want more information like contained in this video, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up because it gets spread out to tons of people. It sends a message to YouTube if you like the video that more people might like it, so YouTube shows it to more people, and that way we get the message out. See, these videos are to help inform injured people about their rights and to help them when they have an injury, whether they're my client or not. Now, the secondary reason is to spread the word that I'm a good lawyer and I help people so that I get some cases, because that's how I make a living. But the primary reason is to spread good information to injured people so they don't fall into insurance company traps in their injury cases. So liking the video and subscribing to the channel gives you access to the videos as they're released, and it sends a clear message to YouTube to show them to more people. Okay? So finally, if you enjoy the videos, the book, the CD, the DVD, my injury cheat sheet, the good case calculator, the various tools that I offer for free to injured people, there's a way you can say thank you to me, and I would really appreciate it. It only takes you a few seconds. I need as many 5-star reviews on Google as I can to compete with big law firms who I believe are using fraudulent means to get a bunch of 5-star reviews, okay? But I like to do it with real people who have had some contact with me, or at least have watched my videos and appreciated it. So if you don't mind, I'm leaving a link in the description. All you do is go to that web address on your phone, tablet, or PC. It takes you right to the page. Click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit. Literally 5 or 10 seconds work for you, and an invaluable favor to me that I will never forget and I will always appreciate. And it helps people find me, and it helps me get people to hire me as their injury lawyer. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your viewership. Please feel free to share the video with anyone you'd like. And I hope you and your family are well, but if God forbid you need any help, 312-500-4500. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.